Chapter 38.
Yes.
So, it said a foreign exchange rate is the price of one currency in terms of another currency or currencies. So it's also the value of the currency, that is how much the currency is worth in terms of another currency. For example, a foreign exchange rate of $1 is 65 Indian rupees. It means that the price of one is 65 Indian rupees, and that $1 is what would buy 65 Indian rupees. So a foreign exchange rate index is the price of one currency in terms of a basket of other currencies, weighted according to their importance in the country's international transaction. So for foreign exchange, we're talking about the price of a country's currency, like the dinars, compared to, or in terms of the dollars. That's the foreign exchange. Or the dollars, the pounds, the euro, and the rest. So that is about foreign exchange. But when we talk about foreign exchange index, yeah, we're talking about the price of a currency in terms of the basket of currencies. That means putting all currencies in a spot, and what is the value of that dinars to other currencies. That is the index. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So we just go on. So we have countries here. We have CD, Argentina, Dirham, Brazil, Dong, and the rest. So we'll go to. So for foreign exchange, we have the fixed exchange rate and the floating exchange rate. So put it in mind. For foreign exchange, we have fixed and floating exchange rate. We go to the fixed exchange rate. Why do we call it fixed exchange rate? We call it fixed exchange rate because it is determined. It's determined by the central bank of the country or the government. It is fixed. It doesn't change based on speculation. It is fixed. So let's see what they wrote. They said a fixed exchange rate is one whose value is fixed against the value of another currency or currency, and it is maintained by the government. So it is fixed exchange rate because it's maintained by the government, like maybe the central bank of that country. So they fix the exchange rate. It does not change based on speculation, based on demand or supply. It does not change. It is fixed. No matter what happens to demand of the currency, for the currency or the supply of the currency, it is fixed. It stays the way it is until there's new regulations that would lead to maybe revaluation or devaluation. Is it clear?
Yes.
So the value may be set as a precise price or within a given margin. If market forces are pushing down the value of the currency, the central bank will step in and seek to increase its value, either by buying the currency or raising the rate of interest. So they said if the market forces are pushing down the value of currency, they want it to come down. So they said people might be doing that by not demanding for the currency. You know, when the demand for the currency falls, the price of the currency would fall. So, but the central bank would come in by buying all those currencies so that it will not devalue the currency. Do you get the point they're making here? They said if the market forces are pushing down the value of the currency, the central bank would step in and seek to increase its value, either by buying the currency or raising the rate of interest. So if a foreign exchange rate, if the value of a country's currency is falling due to the market forces trying to beat down the price, the central bank will not allow it, because when the market forces does that, when the market forces do that, it means they stop buying. They stop transacting with that currency. Do you get it? So it is the duty of the central bank of that country to start buying that currency so that it will not lose its value, or the central bank or the government increases the interest rate. So if government increases the interest rate, what happens? They start saving more.
So by saving, the central bank will...
By saving more, the currency will be scarce on the market. The value will increase.
So the currency is the currency.
If the value of the currency, if the value of the currency is falling, there are two things the government of the country can do. We're talking about the foreign exchange here. A fixed one. The government can increase the interest rate. As interest rate increases, it becomes an incentive for savings. Yes or no?
Yes.
People will start saving. Currency will be scarce. There won't be flow of currency. It will be scarce. Yes or no?
Yes.
Then what happens to the value of the currency? It rises. That's the first point. The second point is that the government, the central bank, could come in and start buying that currency because the demand for the currency is falling based on the fact that market forces are not buying. So the central bank will start buying it instead of making it fall.
So what if they buy it? Demand will not increase.
It will be in the market. The central bank has it. It becomes scarce. Instead of selling it at a reduced price, the price will be maintained. Is it clear?
Yes.
So the price of $1 US. So that is the point about that. So for you have to say the effect of price of the dollar without government intervention. The price. Okay, let's say in figure 30.1, the price of $1 is initially €2. Demand for the dollar rises, and if left to market forces, its prices would rise to 2.3. If, however, the central bank wants to keep the price of the dollar at €2, it will ask the central bank to sell dollars. If it does so, the supply of dollars traded on the foreign exchange market will increase and price will stay at 2. So, if demand increases for the US dollar, for example, here, if the demand increases, if the demand for dollars increases here, if it's left to the hands of the market forces, they will increase the price of dollars. Yes or no?
Yes.
But if the government of the country still wants to maintain that fixed rate, it will tell the central bank of its country to start selling dollars too. So it will not be left only in the hands of the market forces. The government and the central bank will also sell dollars for individuals or businesses that needs it. As a result, the currency, the dollar will be, would flow in the market, so the price might remain the same.
Because market forces we want to sell.
There is government intervention. So with government intervention, the price would remain the same. That is the point they are making there.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yes.
So if if it does so, the supply of dollars traded on the foreign exchange market will rise, it will increase, and price may stay at €2. That is with government intervention. With government intervention, price might remain the same. But the effect of the price of dollar with government intervention, that's it, the price will remain the same. But if government does not intervene, the price will rise. Do you know what we're saying here?
The price will rise and the supply will be less.
The supply will increase.
Increase.
Yes, because the price is high. The supply of the currency will increase.
The supply more, but the quantity will be less.
The quantity will increase.
Yeah.
Do you get the point we're making here?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
For government, with government intervention, with government intervention, prices will stay the way they are, and the supply will increase. Without government intervention, prices will increase before supply will increase. Do you get it?
So an intervention, the price will be still.
Without government, price will rise.
Okay.
Demand will be, because demand is more than supply. Yeah. That's why price is increasing. So you wouldn't expect supply to increase immediately, but you have to put in mind that there's law of supply. The higher the price, the higher the quantity supply. So in the long run, price or quantity supply would increase. But here we're talking about a quick fix. So if government is with government intervention, government is intervening because the demand for the currency is increasing from D to D1. If government does not interfere, the price will increase from 2 to 2.4. Do you get the point I'm making here? Yes. But with government intervention, demand has increased, the supply would increase because government is also going to sell through the central bank. So the market forces will be selling, government will also be selling. So the market forces will be forced to sell at the same price as the government is selling. If not, they won't be selling. The central bank will be selling more than them.
That's why they want to sell at the same point.
So government intervention would increase supply from S to S1. The price will still be fixed. The quantity supply would increase from Q to Q1. Is it clear?
Yes.
So we go to maintaining a fixed exchange rate. So to maintain a fixed exchange rate, they said A change in the value of the currency from one exchange rate to a lower one is referred to as devaluation, and a rise in the fixed exchange rate is called revaluation. You know, I told you earlier, I said for a fixed exchange rate, it is fixed. Government can only revaluate it or devaluate it. So if government wants to reduce the value of a fixed exchange rate, it means government is devaluating the currency. That was what happens with the dinars. The dinars before now was 1.2 with the central bank. But when you go to the floating exchange rate, I mean the black market, they sell it then at 7, at 8.
Why is that?
Yeah, because it's the market forces. Government does not have power over the market forces. And the central bank was not even selling.
So if they intervene in the market force, the law.
Yes. So what happens afterward? The central bank came up with a policy of devaluing the dinars. So when the central bank devalues the dinars become 4 to $1, 4 point something, 4.3 to $1.
They want to devaluate.
After devaluation.
From 1 to 4.
Yeah, it was 1.3 before now. It's $1 to 1.3 dinars. Yeah. But after the devaluation, it becomes 4.3 dinars or 4.3 dinars to $1. So with that devaluation, the central bank starts selling. And now, you see, the dollar rate does not increase anymore.
So it was 1.
Do you get the point I'm making here?
No.
The dollar was selling at a high of 8 dinars. Yeah. Yes or no?
Yes.
Then the central bank feel that the only way out is to devalue the currency, to devalue the dinars, the dinars against the dollars. As the government devalues the dinars against the dollar, the government starts selling to the central bank. So as a result of that, because of devaluation of the currency, it makes dinars to be more in the market, and dollars the supply of dollar increases in the market through the central bank. As a result of that, the market forces are forced to reduce the price of the dollars. So these days, the dollar in the markets to dinars is maybe 5. In the central bank, it's 4. The fixed exchange rate is 4. The floating exchange rate is 4.5 or 5. It never went high anymore after devaluation. So these are what we call government monetary policies.
In 2000, I think 16 or something, the dollar was 8 or 9.
Well, it can't anymore.
Yeah, it can't, because it doesn't.
There's flow of dollars now because of the devaluation of the dinars.
Yes.
Do you understand? Because the devaluation of dinars means that the price of the dollar has risen against the dinars. So as a result of that, a lot of dollars would come into the country. So that increases the supply of dollars.
Yes. So the more the supply of dollar, the less the from dinar to dollars.
The more the supply of dollar, the higher the price of dinars against the dollars. So if the demand for dollars increases, but if the demand for dollars increases in the fixed exchange rate, it will still be the same. But if it is floating exchange rate, if the demand for dollar increases, the price of dollar will increase. Floating. Because the floating exchange rate depends on the demand for and the supply of currency.
So it's a positive relationship. If the dollar increases, the
direct relationship.
Direct relationship or positive. If the dollar demand increases, the price will increase from dinar to dollar. Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yes.
So devaluation means a fall in the currency against the dollar or against other currencies. Revaluation means a rise in the country's currency against other currencies. I think that is clear. Yes. So go to floating exchange rate now. A floating exchange rate, for floating exchange rate, is one which is determined by market forces, which is what? The demand for and supply of the currency. So here it says, if the demand for the currency rises or the supply decreases, the price of the currency will rise. Such a rise is referred to as an appreciation or depreciation. So in the floating exchange rate, we don't have devaluation or revaluation. We have appreciation or depreciation. So if the dinars increases in the floating exchange rate, that means the dinars has appreciated. If the value of the dinars fall against the dollars, it means the dinars are depreciating. Is it clear?
Yes.
We'll go down, please. 38.2, are you there?
Yeah.
We'll go to the determination of the foreign exchange rate in foreign exchange market. Currencies are bought and sold on foreign exchange markets. Individuals, firms, and central banks may buy and sell foreign currencies. The main traders are, however, commercial banks. These buy currencies for their customers and to speculate on movement in the price of currencies. The key reasons why currencies are bought and sold are linked to speculation, demand for export and import, the purchase and sale of financial assets, and foreign direct investment (FDI), often carried out by multinational companies. These and other reasons are examined in more depth below. So when we talk about the determination of foreign exchange. Here we're talking about what are the factors that determine a foreign exchange rate in a foreign exchange market. So there's a foreign exchange market, there's foreign exchange rate. So what are the factors that determine foreign exchange rates in the foreign exchange market? That is the point they're making here. So here we have to understand that currencies are being exchanged for transactions. That is the point. So they say individuals, firms, government, the central bank, they all need these currencies because they do transactions with foreign countries, foreign businesses. As a result of that, because the demand continues to increase, the demand for that currency continues to increase, then the currency will continue to appreciate. Do you get the point there?
Mm-hmm.
So the market is determined by speculations. Oh, the dollars will rise tomorrow. Well, let's quickly buy more today. As a result, the dollars will be scarce on the market. Price increases. So most of the time, everything about this market is speculation. People believing that things will change. People believing that the price will rise and they want to make gain now.
So they will increase it.
So they will buy more now, hoping that in the future the price will increase. That's what we call speculation. Do you get it?
Yes.
So for the key reasons, so aside speculation, aside businesses, firms trying to buy the currency, there's what we call the foreign development of foreign direct investment, the FDI, the multinational companies. When multinational companies come to a country, they use foreign currencies. They might need it. As a result, the demand for foreign currency will increase.
The foreign currency for that country that they want to do, is it the foreign currency that the country they went in?
They are coming into a country.
Yeah.
They need your dinars, right?
Yeah, that's the currency. Right?
Yeah. So because they need your dinars, how are they going to get your dinars? They're going to get your dinars in exchange with their dollars or with their pounds or with their euros. So the demand for your dinars continues to rise because of FDI.
So there's MNCs that there are more MNCs that
the demand for the currency will increase and the currency will appreciate against the foreign currencies. Because at that point in time, it's the foreign businesses that need your currency. The operation is based on your currency.
Yes.
Is it clear? So the reasons for the demand and supply of currency in the foreign exchange markets, as mentioned, so the reasons for demand and supply of currency in the foreign exchange market. As mentioned above, there are numbers of reasons for individual banks, firms, and governments to buy and sell the currency. These reasons can be examined in more depth by considering specific examples of demand and supply. So demand for rupees will come from. Now, what are the, we forget about the rupees here. We're talking about demand for the currency. So it starts from one, foreigners wishing to buy the Indian goods and services. So, okay, let's use the Indian rupees now.
Yeah.
So what will make the demand for Indian rupees to increase? One, they said foreigners wishing to buy Indian goods and services. So as foreigners that are, as a Nigerian that is here, so if I need to buy goods, Libyan goods and Libyan services, I have to use the Libyan dinars. So that increases the demand for Libyan dinars. That's the first point. The second one, foreign-based branches of Indian multinationals. Foreign-based branches of Indian multinationals. So
back profit to India. So they are MNCs from India to another.
Yeah. So as soon as they come here, they have to change the currency they are coming with the Indian rupees to save in the Indian bank.
So,
do you get it?
Okay.
For foreign-based branches of Indian multinationals. So these are Indian companies that are multinational, but they have their branches abroad. Okay. They make money there. As soon as they get here, they have to save it in the bank here, right? Yes. They will need the Indian rupees. Because profit will be transferred here.
Yes.
So it has to be changed to rupees. The third point. Foreign banks buying currencies on behalf of their customers and paying interest on money held by the Indian residents. So foreign banks might need to buy, might do transfers, might do transactions on behalf of their customers who are Indians. Do you get what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Foreign banks buy currencies on behalf of their customers and paying interest on money held by Indian residents. So they are foreign banks,
okay,
but they have to do transactions. They have transactions with Indians who are residents there. So whatever transaction they do, whenever these people are sending back their money, they send it through the Indian rupees. It will be received through the Indian rupees.
Yes.
Foreign firms paying dividends on shares held by Indian residents. Foreign businesses, they have shareholders as Indians. They have to pay dividends to Indian shareholders, yes or no?
By rupees. Yeah.
By rupees. Indians working abroad wishing to send money back home to relatives.
Yeah.
Rupees. Foreign firms wishing to buy Indian firms and setting up units in India. Foreign firms wishing to buy Indian firms, they have to pay in rupees. Do you understand? And they are setting up branches in India, so everything has to be done in rupees.
Like MNCs.
Yeah, they are MNCs. But here we're talking about foreign. We're talking about foreign businesses wanting to buy local businesses.
Yeah. Okay.
Foreign firms and individuals wanting to buy shares in Indian companies to save in Indian bank and lend Indian firms or individuals.
Shareholders. Yeah.
Foreign firms and individuals wanting to buy shares, yes, in Indian companies. They need the rupees.
Yeah, they're buying shares in Indian companies.
They need the rupees.
Yeah.
Foreign governments wanting to hold rupees as reserves. So if foreign government needs rupees, they need reserves, and they want to use the rupees as reserves, like all countries does, using dollars as their reserves. So they will need, the demand for dollars will increase.
So
their national reserve, what they can fall back to whenever they need it.
Oh yeah.
Their last resort.
Because they get it from January. So
do you understand?
The backup.
Yeah. So government of countries, like most of the countries, they use the dollars as their reserve, so they can come back to it because they know the dollar will always appreciate.
And most of the countries use euros, like Tunisia and these things.
European countries maybe use euros.
European.
Most of the countries use dollars.
Dollars, yeah.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Speculators buying rupees in the expectation that the rupees will rise in value in the future. Significant sums of the currency can be traded by speculators. So I said that earlier. Through speculation. Yes. You believing that prices will rise in the future for you to gain. Now go to the supply. The supply of rupees will come from one, Indians wishing to buy foreign goods and services. Indians who wants to buy foreign goods and services, they will send Indian rupees. Foreign multinational companies based in India and sending profits home. Like Indian companies abroad sending profits to India. Now, foreign companies here, multinationals, as soon as they make their profit, they send it abroad.
As ruby. Or as dollar, like if there's dollar.
First will be in rupees.
And then they'll
change. Yes.
So they send it as rupees and then they will exchange it and then put the dollars.
Dollars, yes.
So the government will get it like a reserve, right? Reserve rupees.
Foreign government. We're talking about foreign multinational companies based in India sending profit home.
This is another too.
Yeah, like LC Wakiki and the rest. They make profit here. Right?
Yes.
LC Wakiki is Turkish. So they have business here, right?
Yes.
As long as their business is not yet, they make money, they send it back home. But first, they would have gathered up with the dinars.
And then they'll exchange it there from dinars to
the country's currency.
Lira, yeah.
Do you get it?
Yes.
All right. Indian banks selling currencies on behalf of their customers and paying interest on money held by foreign people living abroad. So if Indian banks have to do business for their clients, or they have to pay interest to foreign country, like I am here, I have a fixed deposit account in Nigeria, a fixed deposit, like I have some money there that is fixed. But I'm here, I'm in a foreign country, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Nigerian commercial bank would have to pay me interest on that amount. Yes or no?
You have to pay you.
Yeah, on the fixed deposit.
Okay.
So what are they going to use to pay?
Is it the same currency?
No, yes. Do you get it or not?
No, I didn't get it.
What I'm saying is this. Foreign as a foreigner.
Yes.
India banks selling currency on behalf of their customers and paying interest on money held by foreign people living abroad. So here we're talking about you servicing your customer. You're serving your customer, and those abroad, those living abroad,
yes,
but they work here.
But they work here.
They work here.
It's like Indian living abroad.
Indians living abroad.
Yes.
So whatever transactions they do here, they will send you dollars or whatever they send for the transaction to be done in rupees. So that means you need more of rupees for those for those emigrants, not immigrants, and the emigrants.
Mm.
Do you get this or not?
Yes, yes, yes.
Indian firms paying dividends on shares held by foreigners. Foreign firms have the company, they own the company, they own it. So, but they have to pay shares, but it's in India. So if shares has to be paid, it has to be paid with the rupees. So the demand for the rupees will increase.
Yes.
Indian firms, okay. Foreigners working in India send money home to their relatives. I'm a foreigner, I'm working here, and I'm sending my money home to my relatives in India. I think that is clear.
Yes.
So Indian firms wishing to buy foreign firms and setting up production units in other countries, they will need, yes. Foreign companies save in foreign banks and lend to foreign firms and individuals. Okay. Indian firms and individuals wanted to buy shares in foreign companies, save in foreign banks, and lend to foreign firms and individuals. They are Indian. They want to invest in foreign companies.
Yeah.
They want to buy shares of foreign businesses.
What do you want to say?
They want to save in firms. They want to save in foreign banks too. Yes. They don't have dollars. They will have rupees that they have to sell. Yes or no? Yes. So the supply of rupees will increase because people want to save in foreign bank. Because people want to pay share dividends, or they want to invest. The Indian government wishes to hold foreign currency in its reserves. The Indian government wants to keep reserves.
Mm-hmm.
So it is also part of it. And the last one is about speculation. Speculators selling rupees because they expect the price of rupee to fall. So some are buying more.
Yes.
These ones are selling more because they think that the price will fall in the future. So they don't want to lose out.
Selling, not buying.
Selling,
Buying is with demand.
selling more. Because they sell more, it will increase the supply in the market. Yes or no?
Yes.
And as soon as the supply increases in the market, it fits in to what we are talking about as speculation. So a lot of people want to sell their dollars because they heard that the dollars will be falling down.
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
So demand and supply of Indian rupees, we talked about that. So the effect of the rise in the Indian rate of interest. Okay, here they said figure 38.3 shows the effect of the rise in the Indian rate of interest on the market for Indian rupees. This will encourage foreigners to place money in Indian banks and hence increase the demand for Indian rupees and raise its price. So if the interest rate in India increases,
Yes.
foreign businesses, investors will want to save more to enjoy the benefits. So the demand for Indian rupees will increase because foreigners would have to change their currency before they can save in the Indian bank. So an increase in interest rates of a country would increase the price of the country's currency. Do you get it?
Yes. Because there will be more flow of that cash flow.
Yes. Now go to the causes of.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes.
The causes of exchange rate fluctuations. An exchange rate may change as a result of a change in export revenue and import expenditure. An exchange rate may change as a result of a change in export revenue and import expenditure, direct foreign investment, the sale and purchase of financial assets between country and other countries, speculation, and central bank action. An increase in current account surplus will tend to cause the value of the currency to rise. For example, if export revenue rises relative to import expenditure, demand for the currency will rise. An increase in investment in the country arising from a foreign multinational company setting up a production plant can also cause the price of the currency to rise. If it is generally believed that the currency will rise in price, speculators will act in a way which will help in bringing about the price, about their expectations. They will buy the currency, which in the case of a floating exchange rate will push up its price. So what they are talking about here is that the exchange rate will be determined by the export of revenue, the change in export of revenue, and an import expenditure, or direct investment, or speculation.
So if the exports rise, does that mean that the currency?
So if a country's exports rises, it means the country's currency would increase. The demand for the country's currency will increase. As a result of that, the price of that country's currency would rise.
Yes.
Do you get it?
Yes.
However, they said, okay, so speculations also will increase the price. We said that already.
Yes. Yes.
Speculation will also increase the price.
Increase in investment.
Increasing investment. Yeah, if investment increases too. If you are investing in India, just like you want to invest in Libya, you have to use it in house to invest. So all these things will push the price up.
Yeah.
So a government and the central bank can seek to influence the price of its currency in three main ways. One is buying and selling the currency. If it wants to raise the exchange rate, it will instruct its central bank to buy the currency using foreign currencies to do so. Of course, there's a limit to which it can do this, as it will have a limited supply of foreign currency in its reserves. So the central bank may also raise the interest rate in a bid to raise the value of the currency. A higher interest rate may attract what are called hot money flows. These are funds which are moved around the financial markets of the world to take advantage of differences in interest rates and exchange rates. Do you get what we're talking about here?
Buying currencies and interest rates.
Do you get it or not?
Yeah, it's good.
So, when we talk about out money flows, we're talking about how money flows within the financial markets based on increase in exchange rate globally. So we call it out money flows. So investors in the financial market, what they do is they get news about countries with high interest rates. So they invest, they save in those countries. So if Libya has a high interest rate, Americans would come to save in the Libyan banks, but they won't be able to save with the dollars. They save with the Libyan dinars. As a result of that, the demand for the Libyan dinars would rise. So that will increase the value of the dinars against the dollars, because now the dollars need to buy more of the dinars. Do you understand? So the point here is that governments might intervene in the market by buying or selling the foreign currency, but it cannot last longer because it will affect the reserve, the national reserve. As a result of that, another way to go about it, which is long-term, is to increase the interest rate. As soon as the interest rate increases, the out money flows would take place. People will start coming into the country to start saving. And foreigners would want to save. For foreigners to be able to save in the Libyan bank, they have to buy the Libyan dinars.
Yes.
So that increases the value of the currency, of the Libyan currency. Is it clear?
Yes.
There is in addition, a government may try to raise the value of the currency by introducing measures to increase exports and reduce imports. So another way is to increase exports and reduce imports. Because if you do more imports, if a country does more of imports, it will affect its currency. Because your currency will be used to buy more of other countries' currency. So it loses value.
It will decrease.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So we go to the consequences of a change in the exchange rate. The effect of a change in the exchange rate on export and import prices. A rise in a country's exchange rate would raise the price of its exports and lower the price of its imports. More precisely, the price of export rises in terms of foreign currency and the price of import falls in terms of domestic currency. So what they are saying is this: it's that a rise in a country's exchange rate would raise the price of its exports and lower the price of its imports. Yes, as soon as the dinars increases, the price of its exports would rise. But this has a consequence. The consequence is that because at that point in time, the dinars will buy less. The foreign currency will buy more of the dinars. Do you get the point here? So that means prices of exports will increase from Libya. So Libya might be less internationally competitive because prices are high. Do you get where we're going here? Do you get it or not? No. It said a rise in the country's please. It said a rise in the country's exchange rate would raise the price of its exports and lower the price of its imports. What does this imply? This implies that as soon as the dinars increases, as soon as the dinars increases against the dollars, it means that whatever we are exporting out of Libya, the price would rise.
Yes.
The price will rise, which means foreign currencies will buy less of our exports. Do you get it?
Yes.
And we can buy more of imports because import prices will be less. Yes. Do you get it? So the dinars, because the dinars has increased in value, it will buy more of foreign currencies, which means it will do more of imports. And the price of exports will become higher. Do you get it now?
Mm-hmm.
The dinars has increased, the value of the dinars has increased.
Yes.
This means that the price of exports from Libya would increase. The price of imports to Libya would reduce, because now dinars will buy more of foreign currencies. Foreign currencies will buy less of dinars. Because they can buy less of dinars, they can buy less of export, because the price of export has increased. So the consequence is this: Libya might not be internationally competitive because prices have increased. So your foreign customers will start seeking alternatives. Do you get it?
Yes.
And for the price of imports, it falls in terms of the domestic currency. Here we're talking about how, because the demand for the dinars has increased. So imports becomes cheaper.
The dinar decrease.
If the dinars increases,
Yeah.
imports becomes cheaper, because your dinars will buy more of foreign currencies. Is it clear now?
Yes.
So that's the point we are making there. So this is all about story. So it's like is inelastic revenue will rise, okay? Yeah, it's just about what I just said now. So basically, what they are just letting us know is that as soon as prices increase, as soon as the value of the country's currency increases, its export prices will increase. Its import prices would fall. But the consequences of export prices increasing is that the country might not be internationally competitive, because the foreign customers will start seeking for cheaper products instead of buying from Libya. Is it clear?
Yes.
So the effect of a change in the exchange rate on the macroeconomy. So a change in the exchange rate, besides affecting exports and imports, may influence economic growth, employment, and inflation. A fall in exchange rate by lowering export prices and raising import prices is likely to increase demand for domestic products. This rise in aggregate demand can increase output and employment of the economy if it is not operating at full capacity initially. So look at what they said. They said a fall in exchange rate would lower the price of export.
Yes.
So, as you know, if a country wants to, for government, government have macroeconomic objectives, like increasing employment, economic growth, price stability. So now let's talk about economic growth and employment opportunity.
Yes.
So if government wants to use monetary policy, government might reduce the value, might devalue its currency. Because if government devalues the currency, what happens? Export price would fall. The country will become internationally competitive. A lot of foreign customers will start buying from your country. It improves your balance of payment. A lot of foreign businesses will come and set up here, because bringing much of their currency here will buy more of the local currency. It becomes cheaper for them. Investment becomes cheaper. As a result of that, employment will increase. The balance of payments will increase. That's the point they are making. Is it clear? Yes. So in the long run, what happens to aggregate demand? Aggregate demand will increase. Do you understand? Yes. So the effect of a rise in net exports, a fall in the exchange rate can, however, increase inflationary pressure for a number of reasons. One, imported raw materials will be more expensive. Yeah, that's the first problem. If export prices fall, import prices would rise. Yes or no?
Yes.
So businesses that need to buy foreign raw materials, the price will be high for them. So then inflation is coming in. Price hike again. Because their cost of production will decrease. That is the point they are making. Finished imported product will also be more expensive. Let's forget about buying raw materials now. Even finished products that you want to import, they will be expensive. So either raw materials or finished products that the business would need to use, the prices, importation prices is high. So the pressure will now, there will be what? Inflation in the economy. Based on cost push inflation.
Demand for inflation.
Cost push.
Cost. Yeah, cost.
Is it clear?
Yes.
So go to the advantages and disadvantages of floating and fixed foreign exchange rate. Are you there?
Yes.
The advantages and disadvantages of floating exchange rates. An advantage of a floating exchange rate is that it will help to eliminate a gap between export revenue and import expenditure. If it is floating, because floating is determined by the demand for and the supply of. So at that point in time, it means you can regulate it. You can regulate things. If you want to do more of export, you reduce the price. If you want to do more of imports, you increase the price. That means you can regulate it. That's an advantage in the floating exchange, which cannot happen in the fixed exchange. Is it clear?
Yes.
If demand for import rises, why demand for export falls? Supply of the currency will rise. Yeah, I just talked about it now. I think that is clear.
Yes.
Balance, okay? So go to the second paragraph there. They said, even with a deficit between what countries have earned from export and what it spends on import, however, demand for currency may rise. Firms and individuals may still buy more of the currency to invest in the country if they think that economic prospects are good. So in practice, there's no guarantee that a floating exchange rate will eliminate a current account deficit. A floating exchange rate nevertheless does allow a government to concentrate on other objectives. It also means that a government does not have to keep reserves of foreign currency to influence the price of the currency. What they are saying is this: if we think more of doing exports as a result of that, I'm going to continue with the first paragraph now. If we think about doing more of exports, as a result of that, the floating exchange rate falls. Export will increase, but that does not guarantee that our balance of payments would improve, because export might increase with no significance with the balance of payments, because prices are cheaper. Volume might increase, but does not equate that the value will increase. Volume will increase, value might not increase. So you might still be having balance of payment deficit. Do you get what I'm saying or not?
Yes.
Do you get the point or not?
No, do it
No.
again.
What we're saying is this: if a country wants to do more of exports, it could reduce the floating exchange rate, could help by lowering the floating exchange rate, depreciating the value of the currency. As soon as that is done, the volume of exports would increase. But the volume of exports does not equate that the value of exports will increase. Let's talk about exporting airports. Before now, the price, due to foreign exchange rate that has fallen, the price of this has fallen to maybe from $5 or 5 dinars to 3 dinars. If you export 100, exporting 100 will give you 300 dinars. Well, have you forgotten that if it was 5 dinars, exporting 100 will be 500 dinars? So you might still be having deficit. The volume will increase, but the value might not increase. That's when we talk about continuing having balance of payment deficit or current account deficit. Do you understand? So that's the disadvantage. Depreciating the floating exchange rate does not guarantee that the balance of payments would improve. Because volume is guaranteed, but value is not guaranteed. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that's the point they are making there anyway. So they said the main disadvantage with a floating exchange rate is that it can fluctuate, making it difficult for firms to plan ahead. Speculations may cause significant changes in the price of a currency. So another problem about floating exchange rate is that because it's not stable, as a result of the instability, businesses might not be able to plan towards ahead of it, because things are changing every now and then. So they cannot have a specific plan. Also speculation. With speculation, people will buy, they'll sell. They buy, they sell. There's no stability. So these are the problems about floating exchange rate. And these things will lead to inflation. Is it clear? The advantage about floating exchange rate is that it can strike a balance between export and import.
Yes.
But the problem is that there's speculation. There is lack of clarity based on the fact that businesses cannot plan using the foreign exchange. Do you get it?
Yes.
So go to the fixed exchange rate now. Are you there? The fixed exchange rate, the advantages and disadvantages of fixed exchange rate. Yeah. So they said the main advantage of fixed exchange rate is that it creates certainty. It is fixed. It is constant. Speculation will not affect it. Demand for supply up will not affect it. Firms that buy and sell products abroad will know the exact amount they will pay and receive in terms of what, in terms of their own currency, if the exchange rate does not change. So you know what is coming to you, you know what is going out because it is fixed. A fixed exchange rate, however, has a number of disadvantages. One, it can mean that a central bank has to use up a considerable amount of foreign currency to maintain its value. Just like what we're talking about, you have to, if the price wants to like come down, the central bank must buy it. So that means the central bank might use all its reserve to buy foreign currency so that the value remains the same way it is. That might not be good for the economy. They said for the advantage and disadvantage of fixed exchange rate. The main advantage of a fixed exchange rate is that it is certain. There's clarity. So whatever, as a business, as an individual, as government, you know that whenever you need to export, you know the price of your export. Whenever you need to import, you know the price of your imports. You know what the values are. Unlike a floating exchange rate, which is based on speculation, which is based on lack of clarity. Do you understand?
Yes.
But fixed exchange rate is certain. You would know what you are gaining, what you are losing. You would know. But the problem about fixed exchange rate is, one, they said the central bank can use up a considerable amount of foreign currency. What does that imply? Remember we said if the market forces are trying to reduce the value of a country's currency by reducing their demand for the currency, the central bank will step in. And if the central bank steps in, what does it do? What does the central bank do? The central bank will start buying the currency.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get the point here? Yes. So the central bank will not just go there and buy, it buys with its reserves. So using the reserves to buy foreign currency has an opportunity cost. The reserves might be used for infrastructure. The reserves might be used.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand? So there's always an opportunity cost when the government starts spending on one aspect.
Yes.
That is the point they're making about foreign exchange, fixed rate.
Mm-hmm.
Is it clear?
Yes.
If the exchange rate is under downward or upward pressure, it will also have to implement policy measures which may conflict with its other government objectives. For example, a central bank may raise the interest rates to reverse downward pressure on the value of currency. A high interest rate may cause unemployment and slow down economic growth. You see, whatever government policy is, there might be conflicts. Just like what they said here. If the government is trying to reduce, if government is trying to maintain the value of the currency, the government of the country might increase the interest rate. Increasing the interest rate, are you getting what I'm saying here? Mm-hmm. If government wants to try to ensure that the fixed exchange rate is stable, is constant, is fixed, government doesn't want it to lose its value. Government might come up with monetary policy by increasing the interest rate. As soon as the interest rate increases, it affects aggregate demand in the economy. How? If interest rate increases, savings will increase. If savings increases, aggregate demand in the economy would fall. Firms will not be selling as they used to sell. As a result, they might start reducing the number of workforce, they might start laying off workers. So one government policy is conflicting with one government objective. The government policy is monetary policy, high interest rate. Government objective is to reduce unemployment rate. But now with what it is, because of an increase in the interest rate, which is a government policy, unemployment is increasing, which means an increase in interest rate is conflicting with a government objective. That is the point they are making here.
Yes.
Is it clear now?
Yes.
So when you talk about international competitiveness, they said a country might be called internationally competitive if it provides the goods and services desired by consumers at a price acceptable to them. So there are numbers of indicators of a country's international competitiveness. This includes, one, its economic growth, its shares of world trade, level of expenditure on research and development, the quantity and quality of education and training, the state of the country's infrastructure. So before we go further, here they are talking about being a country being internationally competitive, which means this country is able to sell to most of foreign customers, to foreign countries. That's what it means. So here they said, if it provides goods and services desired by consumers at a price acceptable to them. So that's why whenever the country's currency falls, the export of that country would increase. Why? Because the price becomes cheaper for foreign customers. Mm-hmm. So it means it's affordable. So you become internationally competitive because the price of the exports are cheap. Clear?
Yes.
So what are the indicators? What are those things that make you to know that your country is internationally competitive? And what are those things that you could do as a country to make it to become internationally competitive? One, it could be through your education and training. It could be through your research and development. It could be through the quantity and quality. Yeah, the education and training, we talked about that. It could be on your infrastructure, communication, electricity, transportation. And it could be on your output. So these are things that puts a country, that makes the country to be internationally competitive. Clear?
Yes.
So they said a competitive economy is likely to have a stable economic growth rate, a reasonable share of world trade, high levels of investment and expenditure on research and development, good quality education and training and development, developed infrastructure. So because you are competitive, you are internationally competitive, there's likelihood that you have a high economic growth rate. There's high possibility that your education is quality, because all eyes will be on you, because you become a point of call for all foreign businesses, because they can explore you. Do you get the point there? Yes. So in the short term, changes in the country's exchange rate and inflation rate can influence its international competitiveness. A fall in both would be likely to make the country's products more attractive to buyers at home and abroad. Changes in productivity, however, will have long-lasting effects. Productivity can be raised by, for example, investment, education, training, and improved working conditions. So basically, what they are trying to say is that in the short term, they said in the short term, changes in the country exchange rate and inflation rate can influence its international competitiveness. If the exchange rate falls, and the exchange rate falls, this allows a country to be internationally competitive.
If the exchange rate
falls and the inflation rate falls,
the
prices reduces. This makes you automatically internationally competitive. Yes or no?
Yes.
But what does that imply? It means that you are attractive. Your country becomes attractive to foreign customers. But if there's changes in productivity, if there's a fall in productivity in your country, it will affect your economic growth. So what can you do as an economy, as a country? Improvements in technology. So changes in productivity will have a long-lasting effect. So changes in exchange rate and foreign exchange rate does not guarantee a long economic growth, unlike if it is productivity. Because changes in productivity will mean that output will increase as long as possible. And this could be done through investment, education and training, technological advancements. Do you understand? So countries should think more of productivity than thinking about exchange rates. That is the point they are making there.
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Any question about that?
Yes.
All right. Okay, we have multiple choice questions. What is meant by an appreciation of the currency?
A rise of value caused by market forces.
A rise in value caused by market forces.
Yes.
D. Thank you.
If it's about government intervention, it will be a revolution.
Revaluation.
Revaluation. Yeah.
Question 2. What might have caused the change in the value of the Nigerian currency?
Yeah.
Shown in the diagram. Wow.
Foreign currency.
Yeah, price of Naira to US dollar. Okay. The price of the dollar, the quantity of Naira, the price of Naira in US dollar. Wow. So the quantity of dollar increases. The quantity of Naira, let's say the price of Naira is increasing.
Decreases. The price is decreases.
From P to P1?
Yeah, decreases. The price decreases. And the supply.
How is it decreasing?
Yeah, from P to P1, the price decreases.
And the quantity increases.
Quantity increases.
Yeah, the price of the Naira against the dollar. That means the value of the Naira reduces. The value of the Naira reduces to the dollar. Okay. But the quantity of Naira increases here. So foreign firms investing in Nigeria, foreigners placing more money in Nigerian banks, Nigeria buying more imports, Nigeria calculating that the value of Naira will rise.
If the value of the Nigerian currency is falling,
the price of the dollar, the price of Naira is falling. The quantity is increasing. What would have caused this? Nigeria is buying more imports.
So the price decreases.
Yeah, because we need to buy more. We are selling our Naira. We are using our Naira. So it's C. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
If foreign firms are investing in Nigeria, the price of the Naira will rise. If Nigerians buying more imports, if foreigner placing more money in Nigerian bank, it increases the value of Naira. If Nigerians are speculating that the value of Naira will rise, they will buy more. Yes or no? Hoping to sell in the future. So the price will increase. Do you get it?
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yeah.
Is it clear, please?
Yes.
So the answer is C.
Yes.
Question 3. What combination of factors is most likely to cause a fall in the value of floating currency? A fall in the value of floating currency.
4. Decrease in demand and
a decrease in demand.
Yes, an increase in supply.
An increase in supply. So decrease in demand, increase in supply. D.
Yeah.
Question 4. If the value of the pound sterling against the dollar is 1 to 2 to 1, okay, from 1 to 2 to 1 to days, what effect will this have? 1 pound to $2. It is now, and to €1 to 1 pound to 1.5. So it fell, right?
So less.
It fell now.
Yeah, it fell.
That means the dollar appreciated against the pounds now.
The dollar appreciated.
Yeah, before it was 1 to 2. Now it is 1 to 1.5.
So it appreciated.
That means the dollar appreciated against the pounds. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so UK export to the US will rise in price. The USA will import more UK products. UK tourists will be able to buy more for less money in the US. The value of the pound sterling has risen in price. No, it is not D.
Okay.
UK tourists who uses pounds will be able to buy more for less money in the US.
Yes, yes.
The USA will import more UK products.
No, that will, yeah, that will decrease. Yeah.
The UK exports to the US will rise in price. The UK exports.
B will decrease the price.
The UK exports to the US will rise in price. If the value of the pound sterling against the US dollar changes from 1 to 2
decrease
to 1 to 1.5, the US dollar now has increased. The US dollar has risen against the pounds.
Yes, yes.
So what does that mean?
So that means that V.
The USA will import more UK products
That would decrease the price.
because the price has reduced. Yes, B.
Yeah, because it decreases the price.
Listen, don't look at it as 1 to 2 and 1 to 1.5. You have to check. Now you are going to talk about the changes from the appreciation of the pounds, of the dollars to the pounds. It's still 1-1 here.
Yeah.
But it has, the dollar
was 2.
The dollar was 2, but now it's 1. Wait. The dollar is 2, but it is now 1.5.
Depreciated.
The dollar has depreciated against the pounds. The dollar has depreciated against the pounds.
So maybe because the price is decreased. Yeah.
So the dollar has depreciated against the pounds. It was 2.
Now it's 1.5.
It's appreciating, not depreciating. It's appreciating. It is 2. Now it's 1.5. It's leveling up. It's appreciating. Sorry. It's leveling up. It's leveling up.
Yeah. Because
it's appreciating.
Okay. Appreciating. Yes.
Yeah, it's appreciating. So it's B.
Yeah.
I think it's done, right?
Yes.